Welcome back once again to another Johnny Torch live program. Saturday night, and where else would you be? The only way to spend your Saturday here with us on the Johnny Torch live broadcast. I don't know. I wasn't really going to do a live stream tonight because, well, we already did the Torch News Roundup on Wednesday. We got an over an hour long program for you to listen to if you haven't heard it already. But I figure I missed doing a show on Saturday. We didn't do a show last Saturday. My birthday, of course. Happy birthday to me. And, I like my birthday. I enjoy my birthday. And as I said on Twitter, it's like God has given me another year, and I intend to make the most of it. Carpe diem and all that good stuff. And it beats the alternative, I don't mind going into my heavenly reward, but there's plenty of time for that. I got too much to do right now before I go up there, God willing. I got many more years. So that started sounding kind of morbid. I don't know. But we're going to do a little art stream today. We are going to work on Bullets Bourbon number 8. And before we go on any further, let me do the usual pitch here for our most recent. Wait a second. See, this is the problem I had on Monday, on Open Mic Monday. I think when you have the tab connected to the StreamYard tab, you can't access it on screen, share screen. That's kind of what I learned. So you live and learn, right? You live and learn. Okay, so yeah, here we go. This is the website. You could check the link in the description below. We are offering The Adventures of Bullets Bourbon Private Eye, The Family Jewels, the new issue. I'm calling it the crown jewel of the Bullets Bourbon saga. This is the one where it's all going to change. It's all going to change. Things, I don't know. I mean, will Bullets Bourbon even survive? That's the question. Because the question posed at the beginning of this issue is, Bullets wants to retire. He's going to hang it up. He doesn't feel like he's getting the respect he deserves. He doesn't feel appreciated. And boy, do I know what that feels like. And he is going to call it quits. But before he can do that, he has to face his arch nemesis Carrot Top and bring him to justice for the final time. Now, we all know how these arch enemy, arch nemesis battles go with, Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty. Will one survive? Will they both be taken down? Will good triumph over evil, or will the bad guy win? That's always a possibility. But also we have in this stellar, stunning issue, the lovely Veronica, who is a underling of Carrot Top, and her mission is to turn Bullets Bourbon from the pure faith and turn him to the dark side so that he will finally succumb and be a lackey to Carrot Top in the same way that she is. A very interesting character, Veronica. I'm really excited to be working on her in this book. She's kind of got her own agenda, but she is forced into the employ of Carrot Top. She fiercely desires her independence, but she has a dedication to Carrot Top to further his goals, shall we say. You have to read the book to see more about it. And of course, as I said, Bullets Bourbon, what is he going to do? What choice does he make? Will he succumb to Veronica's temptation? Temptation Eyes is the name of issue 8, which we're working on now. But it's a 3-issue arc. So once I get through with Temptation Eyes, we got one more book in the arc. And the question remains, what is going to happen? Is he going to finally defeat Carrot Top? Will he give his life and make the ultimate sacrifice in the process? Or will he succumb to the wily temptations of Veronica? You can check it out for only 5 buckaroos. Only 5 buckaroos this issue. I must be out of my mind, quite honestly, to offer you lucky people, the love I have for you folks. $5. That's all. Don't get one of those Starbucks coffees that cost all kinds of money and it's not worth it, and you know it's not worth it, but you do it anyway. $5 and you'll be entertained like you've never been entertained before. And of course, if you want to go all in, see, that's the entry level. That's the gateway drug, so to speak. Then, when you've tasted that, when you've got the taste, you're going to want to come back for more. You're going to come back for Bullets Bourbon #1. It's always something, the introductory issue, the origin tale, so to speak, of Bullets Bourbon, how he meets Carrot Top, his arch nemesis. And that one's only $7. So again, we're treating you right. $20, 20 pages for $5, 32 pages for $7. You can't go wrong. And then, of course, we move up to Knock on Wood. That is our second trade, collecting issues 2 and 3, where we introduce Pencil Neck, one of my favorite villains. Then issue 3, of course, issue 2 is $8. Issue 3 is where we just let it all hang out. It's the epic. It's the Mac Daddy of them all. We have Pencil Neck and Carrot Top team up, and we throw in an additional villain, Sour Note, and they have plans for world domination, nothing less than world domination. And Bullets Bourbon has his hands full. He's pressed into service by a secret government agency. We all love them, right? We all love those secret government types. And they press him into service to stop the deadly Eraserhead missile that Carrot Top has prepared and formed from the DNA of Pencil Neck's great erasing abilities. And he plans to aim it at the Capitol and destroy the 3 branches of government in one fell swoop. Who is up to the challenge? Who is up to the challenge? I dare say only Bullets Bourbon. Bullets Bourbon is the only one to set things right. Just a man with a man's courage. All right, so check those out on the link in the description below. And again, $10 for issue 3, the trade. These are remastered. You can still find the originals on Indie Planet, but I've extensively remastered these first 3 books. I took great pains to make sure that they were up to my standards. If I'm going to ask my readers, my followers, my audience for money, hard-earned dinero, it better be worth it. So I made sure that the books were relettered. The first 3 issues were hand-lettered, and I thought, hey, I can do better. Relettered and then recolored the first. We recolored all of the first 4 issues, but the first issue was completely recolored. Issues 2, 3, and 4 were sort of tweaked. Not a full extensive process, but we still managed to clean it up, make it look a lot brighter and a lot better. So again, if you enjoy a good comic book, and who doesn't enjoy a good comic book, please check out The Adventures of Bullets Bourbon, Private Eye, old school comic book goodness, the way God intended. And also, I want to, I was going to be introducing, see, it's March now, right? We're in March. And I wanted to be able to put out my convention schedule, which is what I usually do in March. You start finding the conventions that are open, that they're planning, and then taking in invitations or whatever, you know. But unfortunately, with the whole crap going on in the world today, I have no idea what conventions are going to still come off. I was looking into a convention that was to do in March, and they rescheduled it for the 4th of July weekend, which I'm probably not going to spend my 4th of July. That's the weekend everybody wants to take off, right? Everybody takes off 4th of July weekend, and they're having their frankfurters and firing off fireworks and stuff. I'm probably not going to work on the 4th of July weekend, so that's out. Then the only one I'm actually scheduled for that I legitimately already have a table booked for is the Plastic City Comic Con, and that will be August 31st. But the problem is again, as the dates get closer, I don't know if they're going to be rescheduled or canceled. So take that with a grain of salt. I'm really looking forward to it. I met Keith Gleason a couple of times, Mighty Mascots writer and creator. Really nice guy, and looking forward to being at his convention for the first time. But It didn't happen last year, and I'm hoping it's going to happen this year. We also have, I had an opportunity for another convention, but it conflicts with Plastic City Comic Con. So again, if Plastic City doesn't go through, I'm going to see if I can get this other convention that's going on at the opposite end of the state. And if that doesn't work out, I don't know. I'm going to run out of opportunities because I think KidsCon, which I'm usually at, is only having a convention in Maine this time. Usually have one in New Hampshire in, like, I don't know, May or June, and then they have a November convention. The Maine one is tricky for me because it's like an hour and a half drive, and I don't really know if I want to, because then I have to leave extra early. I have to get up extra early. And as much as, I don't want to be lazy, it is kind of cumbersome on my schedule. So I'm keeping that date open. But again, I'm going to have to wait until I get closer to it to see if maybe I still want to venture out for that one. So what I'm trying to say is keep tuned into the website. I'll put something up on the website. I'll put something up on Twitter whenever these plans become more solid. If nothing else, I will probably be at the flea market again this year, which is what I did for several Saturdays in the summer. Last year, I did the flea market in Salem, New Hampshire. I believe it was Salem. And it's a good place. I just set up a little table, and I met a lot of nice people there, and we got the book out, and now we've got a new issue out, and I'm hoping by summer we'll have issue 8 out. But again, I'm telling you, this issue has been a chore and a half. I know that all the other books that I've done have not been easy. They've been challenging as well, but this one has been quite a challenge. And, well, let me switch screen now, and we will take a look at a page that I am working on now, and you will see the master in action, the maestro of comics. Gonna make him sing. All right, so what we have here is a scene where Bullets Bourbon in disguise is challenging Tom Ado, the consigliere of the Vegetable Garden Gang, to a pool match, to see what information he can get out of him. All right, so we're just going to color, and we will talk about what's going on here right now. So Bullets Bourbon here in this story, as I said, he's kind of feeling like he's not making a difference. That's what he started out his crusade to be, a crime fighter, to be making a difference. And unfortunately, he doesn't feel like he's making a difference. He feels like our character, Scotch, is taking all the credit for all the work he's doing. He feels as if Penders is hounding him needlessly. Which is interesting. I got into a conversation on Twitter where somebody asked, is there a character that you created that you despise? And I had to say Penders. I honestly don't like that character. And it makes me wonder exactly how much longer I'm going to use him. The things he does is so heinous to me that I kind of just don't like the character, and I'm kind of forced now to make a choice if I'm going to continue to use him, or do I write him out? Do I just ignore the fact that he is not going to be used anymore? But this character, the reasons for this are not going to be coming up until several issues from now. So we're probably going to be talking about that in the year, 2028. Yeah, that's how far away it is. I've got these issues planned so far in advance. But again, it could all end. It could all end with the death of Bullets Bourbon. You never know. It could just stop at one point. And then we could do prequels like what they're trying to do with Black Widow. Black Widow, still no word on if it's coming out. And it's supposed to be out in May. And apparently that's still on, but we don't know. I think Venom has been postponed. I think that's coming out in. Did I hear October? I think it's October. I think it's October now. But again, yeah, I've had enough of this. I had enough. We need to get back to normal. Stop playing games with us. It's the only way. We just got to live our lives the way we always did. Stop trying to put everybody in fear and all that nonsense. Go to the movies, go out, enjoy yourself, have fun. Stop acting like you're going to kill everybody just by going and living your life the way you always did. Now, I've got a problem here, and I don't know if anybody could figure it out what was going on here, but there was a blue line that was going across the screen. I have no idea what that was. You could tell me what that was just a moment ago. I'd appreciate it. But yeah, as I said, this book has given me a lot of headaches, and I think it's mostly because I'm introducing a lot more elements than I ever had before. And here's the blue line. You can see it at the bottom of the screen. I don't know. See? I don't know why. It's there. Hope it's not going to show up when I send this to print. I don't think it will, though, because it keeps moving around. I think it's some kind of setting that I accidentally hit. But as I was saying, I've got so many characters in this one, and each one has to be colored differently. You know what I mean? You can't just have... It was different in the last story we did with Carrot Top's men and Pencil Neck's men, where they all wear basically the same color. You know, the Pencil Neck's men all wear black. Carrot Top's men generally wear purple as their waiters, or if they are in the underground hangar, in that scene they were wearing orange and green. So that's a lot different than what we're doing here, where we have all these characters, these colorful looking characters in the back. They're all going to be wearing different colored suits. They're all, you know, very colorful, their faces, and I have to give them separate treatment. You know, I can't just slap a uniform on them and have it look right, because they're all gangsters. They're all going to be fashionable dressers, and they're not going to just blend into the background. I want them to be very flashy looking. This is the Fruit Salad Mob Speakeasy, and this is like where all the guys come out and hang and, you know, show off a little bit. In this scene here, Tom Ado is showing off his pool skills to anybody who will watch. He's sort of a pool shark, but he's never come up against Bullets Bourbon. Bullets Bourbon here using a nom de plume, however you say that, French term meaning an alias. And like I said, he's trying to find out information about the statuette we call the 10,000 carat, which is a priceless statuette that's encrusted with rubies and emeralds, made of solid gold. I know there's no such thing as 10,000 carats, but go with it. You know, it's a comic book. You got to go with it. There's certain things. I hate when people are like too literal, and it's like, well, this can't happen, and it's a comic book. You know what I mean? You got to take some kind of liberties in any kind of fiction. I think you have to take some kind of liberties on things like, you know, you can't have 10,000 carats. Well, yeah, in this universe you can. I mean, the laws of physics have to pretty much stay the same. You know, gravity exists the same here as it does in our world and stuff like that. But that's what I mean about other stuff. I mean, if you can't go with some of these things, you know, it shows a stagnant imagination, if you ask me. You have to allow your imagination to breathe and say, look, I can take that these guys look like walking vegetables, you know? Because there's no explanation for that. I don't go out of my way to explain it. And there's walking fruits and vegetables and pencils. And how did this happen? Where did this come from? Where do they hail from in their and their backgrounds and their past. I don't know. I go out of my way not to talk about it. So, all right. One of these days, what I should do is a tutorial about how I do this. I mean, you are just watching me do it, I guess, if you're watching this video. But, you know, I don't think you can see, like, what buttons I'm clicking and so forth. That's probably because I ate up any kind of tutorial or instruction about making comics. I live in such a great day. I thank God that I live in a day where I can basically make comics myself home on the computer, wearing my jammies, and nobody has to know that, of course. But it's the simplest thing in the world to do. Now, what did I do? First thing I did is I said, let me find a tutorial. Somebody that knows something I don't know. Let me know how to do it. I'll know how to. And the idea is to constantly be improving. That's what I believe in. You constantly have to learn these things. And like I said, I started off coloring by hand, coloring with markers and pencils and different things. And then I graduated to this. I said, how am I going to get digital coloring in my books? I want them to look digitally colored. And, oh, wait a minute, I got to change the layer. Wait a second. I start talking and I don't pay attention. And so I learned. I said, get me a free, free software on how to color. And I found GIMP, which, you know, it works for my purposes. It's not free. I mean, it's free, which is why it works for my purposes. But it's not really too different from, I think, Photoshop. Looks like they have the same kind of setup anyway. And then after that, I figured I need to letter these things properly. I need to letter them like a professional. And I undertook that. I learned how to letter digitally. And again, this is the wave of the future. There's nothing to stop you now. There's nothing to keep you from making your own comics. And again, I want to do it all myself. I don't want to farm this out to somebody else. I'm a cartoonist, and a cartoonist basically does it all themselves. So this is my blessing. This is my curse. If you love it, you have nobody else to sing praises to but me. And if you hate it, the hate mail all goes to me. The buck stops here. That's kind of where we are. Part of the problem with some of this is I feel like I need to like re-ink it. And that's another thing that takes me a long time. I see these lines are kind of dull and I want to make them bold. And so I find myself stopping everything like I'm doing right here. And I have to do some minor inking. Make sure these lines are still just jumping off the page. I don't like the jaggedness of GIMP. That's kind of one of the problems I have here. I do notice, though, that I think for the most part, when you print these up, they're printed at such a rate, at least the books that I've done, that you don't see the jaggedness very much. It doesn't come that apparent. And I could just fuss with this for an hour, which is why this is taking so long. But like I said, I really want to hopefully get this next issue out by, the plan was by May. It may be sometime after May at this point. I really hope not. All right, well, that's going to do it here. We're going to call it quits on this one for this edition of the Johnny Torch Live broadcast. Got a lot more work to do, but, we have to take it slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race. So make sure you check out the link in the description below. Check out The Adventures of Bullets, Bourbon, Private Eye. As I say all the time, it's the best indie comic that nobody knows about. It's the best kept secret. And I intend to keep reminding people as often as possible about its existence, because I have that much faith in it. I believe in this comic. A lot of people are like, they think you've got an ego or something when you have confidence. A lot of people don't like confidence. They react poorly to people with confidence. I feel very strongly that's the reason why a lot of people hate Trump with orange man bad, Trump derangement syndrome, because he has confidence. He knows what he's doing, and he's going to just go out and say what he means. He's not going to play around with it. And so when I say this is the best indie comic that money can buy, I mean it. I am not pulling your leg here. And you're going to get a comic that has been crafted with tender love and care at home, just like Toll House cookies, right? That's the way it's done. It's done with tender love and care by someone who really cares about this and is trying to make it the best it can possibly be. And again, if you have any questions, any comments, if you want yours truly to appear on your show, let me know. I'll see if I can make it happen. If you want to appear on my show, I'll see if I can make that happen as well. Maybe next week I should just turn the show open and have an open house and see if anybody will show. Probably won't, but maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll see if we can let anybody that wants in can be in on the show. And check us out on Twitter. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Do all that fun stuff. And that's about going to do it. That's going to wrap it up for us here. Until next we meet, this is Johnny Torch reminding you once again, keep the flame burning brightly, and I'll be with you again real soon.